Critical evaluation of virtue ethics. So there are strengths and weaknesses of virtue ethics. So the strength of virtue ethics, number one is, by making virtue as the centerpiece of ethical system, Aristotle is able to get rid of too much obsession with action-based ethics, thus not truly capture the very foundation of the moral life, one that should be based on the kind of a person one ought to be rather than what a particular action one ought to do. So we people have this kind of moral doing that we habitually do, and we never see it because we used to it as occasionally and put it as our center of our ethical system. Hence, Aristotle is able to get rid of it, of our too much obsession, if we put virtue ethics as our centerpiece of our ethical system. For the number 2 and 3 of the strength of virtue ethics, number 2, relatedly, by basing effects on virtue, Aristotle is also able to bring morality back in the person's characters, as it emphasizes being rather than doing. After all, morality and its finest sense must be rooted in one's personhood. Number 3, Aristotle ethics is able to influence modern day's teaching on the good life, and that should believe in the moderation. The teaching on the golden mean provides a very sound and reasonable criterion as to what constitutes a virtuous action. Virtue ethic is said to be a feeling because it provides a natural and attractive account of moral motivation. Number 5, a moral theory that puts prime emphasis on the virtues is one that can easily account on certain actions and behaviors that can seem to go against the very idea of impartiality, which is a prominent and highly revered theme in modern ethical theory. It can be claimed that some virtues are partial and some are not. Now let's proceed for the weakness of virtue ethics. One problem that has been constantly raised against virtue ethics is concerned how we determine which traits are virtues and whether they are so in all circumstances. This particular concern takes into the account of glaring fact of the diversity and relativity of what people from different cultures as a site is considered as valuable threats. Number 2, Aristotle's special emphasis on the life of reasons of the defining quality of human uniqueness has been viewed as an elitist, or these persons who believe that society or system should be led by elite. 3. From the outset of the Nicomachean Ethics, Aristotle claimed that every action aims at some good, and for this reason the good has rightly been declared to be that at which all things aim. And he further insists that ultimately what everyone truly aims is happiness, which is the very reason why we humans act. 4. Another issue with regards to the pursuit of life of virtue is the question of the degree of effort and discipline required to be virtuous. If it takes so much time, effort, and discipline to become virtuous, then morality becomes too much of a burden to ordinary people, whose primary and constant concern is life, is undeniably that of survival, which is very much true to those living in so much poverty and third world countries like the Philippines. Lastly, Aristotle's notion of virtue is a mean between two vices, and according to Kant, simply mistaken can say that it is incorrect to define a virtue or vice in terms of mere degree, which prove that uselessness of Aristotelian principle that virtual currency is in the middle way between two vices.